When do you think they'll be able to move in?
Which one?
That's what I gotta say. He's not itching to get out of your house?
I'm itching to get mad.
That's right, he's not itching to get out.
She is.
Yours. Sally, how's she doing?
She's itching and scratching.
Rearrange you guys here. It's gonna cost me.
Okay, I think we are good.
You just have to hit record.
It's already,
Oh,
it's already going.
So we're good to go?
We are good to go.
Okay.
All right, I want to call the order of the meeting at 7:17 for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do roll call. Supervisor Bogey,
Here.
Clerk Stephanie here, Treasurer Joel,
Here.
Trustee Ova here, and Trustee Nick.
Here.
Do approval of the agenda. I need to add a couple things. We're gonna do 3 items, 7, 8, and 9.
For new business?
Yeah.
Okay.
One's gonna be the Welch Road project. There's 2 different bids on it. We need to decide on that.
That's 7.
Yep, and then 8's gonna be the Monroe County Road Commission sign that says no cross traffic. I got a bid on that. That's all good. And then the Sexton guy, hopefully, right? Or is that
Yeah.
already on there?
Nope, I think.
Okay.
I don't think.
That's it.
I got one resolution for
Oh, yeah.
lighting, street light.
I got an answer back from Karen on that too. You do 10%.
I know. that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's what,
Well, she had a discussion with somebody on that today, so.
mm,
Anything else we want to add to that?
I don't think so. I make a motion to accept the agenda with the proposed changes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I-
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment for 2 minutes. On agenda items only.
I was waiting for you to say that.
What was number 9?
The Sexton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yep. Anybody on Zoom? Amanda?
Yeah, Karen's on.
So no one else?
Nope,
Okay.
nobody wants to, okay, no
No
comment.
more public comment, all right.
Could you run through what those additions?
Oh, yes.
Real quick, please?
Number 7 was the Welch Road project. Number 8 is the road commission signs.
Okay.
9 is the Sexton. And 10 is a resolution regarding street lighting.
Awesome, thank you.
Mhm.
So if you have no public comment, let's do the approval of the previous minutes.
We have 2 of them, so the original, the regular meeting on the 12th, and then the special meeting on the 18th.
Right.
Which
Which that was the land split. You want to do that one first? Or we can't.
No, we have
We
to
gotta
do
do
the
it
12th
over.
first, yep,
Olga was the one that made this, the seconded.
on the approval
Yeah.
agenda, okay.
If we didn't make a correction on that.
Yeah. We'll correct that.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then you gotta wait for them to record review. No, it's
And then we need to give you a motion on the other. Draft minutes from the, it was land splits on 2 of them. If I remember right, we got them all right and all corrected and done. so,
Yep, and then the Cooper Road culvert.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much that was it.
Except, ooh, motioned and seconded, and what time did we adjourn the meeting?
I don't know.
What are you asking?
Who motioned and seconded to adjourn the meeting and at what time? The 18th.
Where was on Wednesday? For the land split? No, my notes on that one.
Jenna did so good on the 12 minutes and I completely missed that on mine.
It ain't.
I know I have them. It's just I'm trying to find them. Oh, here's the 18th.
Yep.
Adjournment, you said?
Yep, motion and seconded and the time.
Motion did. Okay, that's my day.
Mhm.
Bogey and seconded by Joel.
Okay, and at what time?
12:39.
All in favor? 5 and 0?
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
I make a motion to accept the draft minutes for the September 18th meeting.
It's not finished though.
Oh, is it?
The very last thing is just try to remind the board that even after.
Even
Did I
after-
get- did I
Yeah,
get brain dead on that sentence?
No, apparently I did.
Even after what?
Hold on, I was able to speak.
For this kind of comment, I didn't catch that.
See, I'm not good at this.
Well, Nick, what did you write more about?
Read it. Oh, that we could change it. That's what it was, even after.
Oh, yes, remind the board that even after we
minor
approve it,
changes.
yes,
We can change it.
approve the ordinance, we can change it with amendments,
Alright.
yes,
Okay, now are we done?
Yeah.
yes.
there we go.
even
Okay, still make a motion to accept the September 18th draft minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, we'll go through disbursements. So payroll was 10,764.09, which is pretty normal for the month. There's really no outstanding things this month. You'll see all of our inspectors, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing are all on here. We've gotten such an increase in permits that they've gotten a lot more inspections, so you'll see them more frequently throughout the months. And then vendors is a very high number, but keep in mind that Joel sent out a large check for the Monroe County Treasurer for taxes. So total disbursements was $864,584.82. 831 of that was taxes. 26.3 was regular vendors, and then 7,100 was for the fire department. In the regular vendors, we had the Apex software, that is software for Karen, so that's assessing software, and then you'll see Brenda Federley and the Raisinville Township, so that is the payments to Brenda for being the election chair for early voting. So in our contract that we approved, we pay her $200 for each election. So that's $400 for February and August. And then Raisinville Township, that was all of the cost of the rental fee for the township to do early voting, and then all of the food and everything for the 9 days. Everything else is pretty, I mean, we have our printer,
So the BSA software for 5,500, is that,
BSNA software, so that was for the training for the building inspector. And then you'll also see Culkin's Heel Rathco for 14.3. That is our audit.
Yeah.
Joel made a comment when I was having him sign checks that he thinks that was cheaper. I'll have to double check from last year. But I think he's right.
Yeah, because that was 14.5 last year.
Was it 14.5?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it was.
I thought it was a straight 15, but maybe we budgeted for 15, but either way. So that's disbursement. So a total of 875,348.91.
Make a motion to accept the disbursements.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
The roll call.
What's that?
Do you have a question?
No.
Supervisor Rogie,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
Yes.
and Trustee Nick.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said aye. I
No,
thought you
it's-
said-
it's still roll call.
Yeah, it threw me off there for a minute. Joel, looks like we got fund balances.
Fund balances, all right. Your general fund has 165,830. The tax account is sitting at 209,300. Your fire fund has 194,468. Your road fund is 53,449. And the other half of the general fund is 413,406. National savings is 63,909. You have CDs of 422,621. We still have 32,449 in code relief fund, which is part of the general fund. So you have a total of $1,522,986. And without the tax money, you actually have $1,313,686.37.
Good job.
I have a question. Doesn't the COVID money have to be spent before the end of the year?
It has to be allocated by the end of the year. It
Yeah.
has to be spent by the end of 2025.
Thank you.
I
So
mean,
after $831,000 went to the tax, we got 1,000,005 or 1,000,003.
You have 1,300,000.
yeah, 1-3.
That adding up right? Because we got 1,500, right? And we took away 830,000.
But that 830,000 is out, is not showing on here. Because he already dispersed that. So it's not showing in the fund.
All right.
So it was almost $1 million in the tax account and then he takes
Okay, I'm good.
that away. Yeah.
Threw me off there for a minute.
Yeah. No, for sure. I make a motion to accept the fund balances.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Building report. Building report? What do you have?
Oh, it's here. 2 building permits were issued, no electrical, 1 mechanical, 1 plumbing, and 9 building inspections were completed, and he worked 14 hours at the office. End of building report.
Yeah, he's been putting a lot of time in, doing a lot of inspecting too.
I make a motion to accept the building report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Assessors report.
Hello, good
They're
evening.
on Zoom.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I've been gathering permits and preparing to mail inspection cards. for new
Oh,
buil-
you know what? Probably got to turn you up.
Oh,
We always forget.
1
We
second,
always
Karen.
forget.
What did we forget?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay, so I'm ready, okay. So I've been gathering permits and preparing to mail inspection cards for the new building permits for 2024 and the unfinished 23 permits. I'm working on the import process from the Community Development Program for the new cloud, which is the building department program, and verifying that all permits properly transfer. I picked up the drain assessments from the Monroe County Drain Commission for the winter tax roll and the clerk statement. We finalized the 24 clerk statement and which is also the 591 form, signed by the clerk and submitted to the Monroe County Clerk and the Equalization Department. Submitted copies of the selected 24 personal property statements to the county for audit, as well as uploaded the database to the state for principal residence exemption audit. I'm also working on the residential class values, which is land values and ECFs. I'm almost finished with that. It's taking a little longer this year because of the market and everything that's so busy. I attended 6 more hours of continuing education today, the transfer of ownership class, and I'm currently scheduled to take the BSNA cloud class at the end, or at the Assessors Fall Conference at the end of October. And then I'll have 26 hours of continuing ed. I also reviewed 2 land divisions and sent out the approval letters for that. And I reviewed 2 PA 116 applications. Looking ahead, excuse me, I will analyze the county appraisal studies when received for the industrial, commercial, and agricultural classes for the 25 starting ratios. And then Joel and I will balance for the 24 winter tax bills on or about November 4th. And then I'll do my personal property canvas in December for the in December of 24 for the 25 roll. So here we go. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks. It's nice that, I didn't realize that there was a BSA cloud class that is available to assessors. That's really nice.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully it'll
Absolutely.
bring everything together. We'll see how it goes.
Perfect. And I
Well,
just,
unfortunately, it's in Gaylord, but so I have to drive a little bit, but I'm happy to take it.
okay, good. And then I just sent another PA 116 application that I just received earlier tonight on your desk, if you want to just review that for me.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yes, no problem. I can do that on Monday.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Make a motion to accept the assessor's report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance.
I talked to Mr. Doobie a couple days ago. The only 2 items he's dealing with right now, still the Wabash and the one over on Ridge.
Mhm.
Those 2 are both going to court. The guy down here in Wabash did remove some vehicles, made some headway, but it's still going into the court at this point. So they're both into the courts. And that was it.
All right.
I make a motion to accept the ordinance report.
Second that.
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Fire department report. We had 11 calls for the month of September, which is down. Normally, we're running 20, 17, 15. We're down for the last 2 months in a row, so that's a good trend on that. I did go to the fire board meeting last night, or not last night. Last month with Olga. The fire department wants to try to buy another fire truck, and it's about $1 million. I wanna go underneath to look at that truck, cause they said frame's cracked and you can't repair it. I'm like, you got a funny feeling, I need to go look at that, so before we spend $1 million divided up between 4 municipalities. So I don't agree with that.
Well, especially since we just, approved the 24/7.
Yeah.
That's an additional, what, 600,000 a year or something?
Yeah.
So
we're gonna hold off on, I think we're gonna seek some other avenues on that truck deal. That's it on the fire report.
I make a motion to accept the fire department report.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Monroe County Sheriff's Department, since the state's not out here, they went down considerably. Only 33 calls last month. The month before it was 73, month before it was 85, the month before it was 47 calls. We're down to 33, but we did have a couple good serious accidents out here. Looks like we got another one down the road. I did contact the sheriff this week because I sat in the office on Wednesday and probably within an hour I had 15 semis drive by. So I made a phone call to him. They're going to use our lot, sit beside the building and start writing tickets. I actually flagged down the Milan Police Department, had a little chat with them, but I'm going to call the chief, because if they can't write a ticket, but they could if it comes through Wabash and into town, because
Oh, okay.
yeah, whoops.
I didn't realize that.
So they're gonna look into that, maybe keep some tabs on that for us.
I've noticed a significant decrease on Platte Road.
I just seen one tonight.
Did you?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, I did. It definitely is. I've seen it even on Wabash. It's declined.
Yeah, but Jenna's mom actually called me the other night and said 2 semis made the corner and snuck down Sherman to get on the Wabash to sneak around. I'm like, well, that's not gonna work.
Especially because weren't they just working on a culvert or something
Yeah, that they
Right
bumped
there.
off with a semi. They make corner too sharp and it moves the culvert all the way and opens up the road, so it's really awesome. That's all I got.
I make a motion to accept the sheriff's department report.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business. Close the solar ordinance. We tabled it last month. I did get to speak with an attorney on that. I've been advised 2 different ways to handle this. I'm gonna let you speak a little bit because I explained it to you, but I can't
Yeah.
seem to spit it out.
So pretty much the ordinance that we have in front of us, that the planning commission has brought to us, is good. It will do its job. However, a lawyer that Mark had spoke to indicates that it may not comply completely with the PA 223, which is the new state law. So they pretty much recommended, we approve it, so we at least have something on the books, and then discuss potentially looking at the amendment to make sure that we comply 100% with this new law.
Yeah.
They're coming out with new stuff all the time, so that's why we didn't have all this information when the planning commission was doing all of their work. So just to make sure, that we're covered, we have some additional things that, I think might be a good idea to have the planning commission review, and potentially make an amendment on, our current ordinance that we're looking at right now.
And basically, it just makes sure we have a solar district and that we're welcoming it in, which we technically are. I did a little count today of all the little industrial we got over there, and it adds up to 617 acres, which there's houses on there and businesses. So if you knock off 10%, we're still over 500 acres. They said that looks really good, but we still need to comply with the state's PA 233. We can vote to have this in, and then we can send it back to the planning commission again to do some amendments on it, which will be quick. Shouldn't be too long. Water City would help us out with that, so it makes it nice. Any input from anybody?
Well, I think we should just vote on it and get it there, then if we need to amend as we go.
I agree. I think we definitely need to have something on the books, and I
Yeah.
think the planning commission has done a wonderful job on the ordinance that they've presented to us. But I think it's a good idea to have them kind of take a look at, any potential amendments to make sure that we're
Right.
complying. But I think what we currently have is a good start, and that might be good to.
They just keep
Okay.
changing it every month. There's a new change, and I want to definitely get ahead of this. So,
The state is changing it?
yeah,
They're coming out.
they're finally coming out with the rule book, you could say.
But they're not done with it.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And this is what is so scary.
Right.
Is that, but I
Yeah.
agree with you guys and
So it's-
all that,
yeah.
but that's what I wanted to hear. So the state doesn't even know what the final, and this just makes me upset because they passed something that wasn't even.
No.
So we're
It was
doing,
nothing,
yeah,
so-
so we're doing our best to make sure that we're trying to keep our township and our residents safe, and making sure that, how we want our township to look moving forward, and function is what the majority of the township wants. And then we're just gonna have to be open to changes to that amendment to make sure that ordinance to make sure that we're in compliance.
Yeah,
And there might be future, in next year, there might be things that we need to look at to review and add.
Right, and
So-
as they change, we have to change.
Correct. We're gonna have to be
So
very
it's a
flexible.
It's a living document.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Pretty much.
It's gonna be something that until everything is ironed out and is concrete, we're just gonna have to continuously look at it and make decisions and keep it at the forefront. It's not gonna just go away.
No.
Um,
That's not, we're discouraging it. We're
No,
welcoming the
no.
township.
we just
but-
wanna make sure that it's put in the right place in our township, and, we're
So
doing the right thing.
Anything on the, with the state, complying with the township's with their master plan? Or is it still kind of willy-nilly?
Yeah, he just named it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
That's.
that's why we kind of want to
Because
comply as
we
much as,
you
right.
guys worked so hard.
That's why we want to try to comply as much as possible, so that, you know, we have a good ordinance in place and that there's no reason to, you know, look elsewhere. So.
Okay, you have anything on it?
No, I just wanted to get something in before they, my concern was to get something in quickly, was because you don't know what they're gonna put in at the time. We didn't have any clue. They could have said, if you don't have an ordinance, you're gonna use ours.
Yes,
So that's why I said, let's get ours in at least, so we got something.
Yeah.
And then if we gotta change it once they come out.
Yeah.
With their, you know, PA 233 or whatever it's
Yeah.
gonna be, then we can change it.
I just want to understand, they still have to come through us. They can't do a bypass and go to the MPSC board and go. They still gotta come here, file paperwork.
mhm.
So it's still it's gonna be a bit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we got, so.
So I make a motion to accept the ordinance that was presented to the board from the planning commission. But also to send back the ordinance to have relooked with these potential amendments.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business.
Okay, so the farm lease over on Allen Sherman Road, is that right? Sherman Allen? Yeah, I think the taxes say Allen, but it's on Sherman, either way. That farm lease is up at the end of this year or March. No, I think it's December. So I wanted to kind of get it on the books to make sure that's what we still want to do with that property, that we want to offer it out to, you know, farmers in the area if they want to bid on it, to lease it, to.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's coming due and I've got people calling like crazy, so we need to
I
get that.
think we made like, what is it, 6,400 and there's 3,000 in taxes, so you're making about $3,000 a year clearing.
Yeah.
The township is.
What's the rent rate now? This year.
I don't
I
even
think it's
know.
135.
Yeah,
I think,
I think
Near
it's
that,
one
yeah,
thirty-five.
because the contracts aren't,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
So what are we gonna do? Bid out the next?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a bidding process with that.
So
You're gonna
it's-
go 1 year at a time or?
So that's what we need to decide. So this one that is currently up was a 3-year lease. You know, we can think about a 5-year lease. We can think about, you know, do we open it up to where, you know, they offer how many years they want to do it, if they bid, however we want to do it. If we want to be a little more stringent, I mean, it's 60 acres. Kind of.
I don't think we've had a problem with the 3-year.
I agree, I think 3 years is fine.
Because, you know, the
In
farmer's
case we
gotta
need
get
to
their,
change something, you don't wanna have a lease on.
And then
or
it
whatnot.
kind of comes due right before the end of our, you know, before the next election, if we need to change anything or anything like that.
yeah, I'm good with the 3-year on that.
You wanna do 3
You
years?
good with that?
Yes.
Joel?
Okay.
Yeah,
Did we
Yeah, I
want to
think-
do?
Just, the rate has went up
Mhm.
Well, that's what they got a bid
over
for.
the past just few years, and I think it's because of what's going on with the solar. They're out there offering these, you know,
Sure.
$995 for $1,000 acres leases, but they're watered down because that's only where the
Panels
panels
are.
sit.
Right.
Correct.
And then the other ones are like $8 an acre for berms or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
But farm property has gone up.
yeah, I was at 130 and 15 years ago, and mine went up to 285.
Mm.
So it went up quite a bit.
Yeah, I think, I heard a rumor they're 285 on like Sears land. I thought 250 or 285 an acre, that's a lot.
So,
$285 an acre.
For
Yeah.
farming. And now you're making, that's gotta be tough to make money.
That's twice as what we were getting 3 years ago.
Mhm.
I, without looking at it, I think it was like
I want to say it's like 130
I
something.
think it's
right now.
135.
is it?
I think
Yeah.
the state's rate is 285. Because my contract is state contract now. It
Yeah,
was Fed contract, now it's state contract.
So we're good for a
So-
3-year lease on that and send out the bids or
Yeah.
publish the bids?
Publish, yeah, so we have to
Yeah.
send bids out. How long did we want to keep this out in the newspaper? Do we wanna do like 2 months or,
I'd say we
when
do.
did we wanna bring bids back to vote on? Like, what's the due date, I guess?
I would say December.
Yeah.
December meeting would be good.
Give them 2 months,
So,
you know.
The December meeting?
Yep.
Okay,
Cause all the farmers are busy right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You
true,
know, they're
yes.
gonna be busy. I'd say you probably wanna get them in by, maybe, you could probably wait till the first of the year or something.
So do like a January.
Let's see what happens. Let's see how many bids we get back. Let's do it on Facebook. Let's do newspaper and our website.
Do we
Let's
wanna
all
do
three.
Monroe County as well as Dundee?
Monroe County, Dundee is Monroe County.
A Monroe County newspaper, or Monroe newspaper?
No, let's just do, let's
Just
do the
Dundee?
local.
Okay, so
That's
Dundee,
good. I think you have to be fairly local for that.
Yeah.
I agree.
don't know how far you're gonna drive your combine, you know.
so we'll put it on the website, Dundee, Independent, Facebook,
Yes,
And your sign out front.
yes.
we could do that.
And so it's a 3-year bid. Okay. So I make a motion to publish a notice to accept bids for the township farm lease in the Dundee Independent. As well as Facebook and website, due date being December for 3 years.
Yeah, I think, that should work. I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
I,
Hi.
Opposed? Since
We'll
we're
do,
sending money, we probably
yeah,
should do
we'll
a
do a
roll call.
roll call. Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes, Treasurer Joel.
Yes.
Trustee Olga.
yes,
And Trustee Nick.
Yes,
Thank you. Okay,
CO2 drilling moratorium, I guess it's coming up, huh?
so the CO2 drilling moratorium is coming up, I wanna say in December as well. This was something that came up on the coattails of solar. And we did a 2-year moratorium on it, 2 or 3-year moratorium on it previously. So that's coming due, so I didn't even know if it was something we were ready to tackle yet. If we wanna do another moratorium, I just wanted everybody to be aware that that's happening.
I think we need to hold off, because we got the wind coming up, we gotta get going on that too.
Yeah.
Do we want to do a 2-year moratorium? What is everybody's thoughts?
Yeah, at least a 2-year.
I would say 2.
We got. The planning commission's got enough on their plate now.
Right, so we wanna say, like October, say 12th, that would be the Monday after our, October 2026 meeting.
Sure.
So I make a motion to extend the CO2 drilling moratorium to October 12th of 2026.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. You can get that one.
Lawn care bids, his contract is coming up. I would like to get a jump start on this just because
Mhm.
this is the end of the season. I want to kind of do the same thing. Let's do the same thing we did with the farm lease.
So website,
Newspaper,
okay.
Facebook, sign out front. Everything we can do on that.
For this, so the contract that I have in my possession, it's not very, descriptive, not very detailed of what is all included.
Correct.
Obviously, it's the cemeteries and the township hall, light, spring and fall cleanup. I'm requesting that we be very descriptive in this notice to say exactly what entails spring and fall cleanup, kind of what our expectations are. Just so when we're getting bids, we kind of understand exactly what they're bidding on. Because it's a little bit more than just mowing and trimming.
Yeah.
You have a lot of, trees that, tend to, branches break, what is our expectation of this company?
Right.
Mandy, you want to work on that with me next week? We'll kind of take a contract and take a look at it, see what we need to do with it before we post it.
Well, I was gonna say, I do have another sample of the contract.
Okay,
Yeah.
that,
let's look at that
you guys could look
next
at.
Wednesday.
Yeah. One other thing we just need to how long did we want the contract to be for? So when I publish it, I can say this will be a 4-year contract, 3-year contract.
3.
Do we want to do 3 years again?
I'd say 3
Like,
because with the ditch mowing and all that, everybody wants a 3-year because they gotta buy equipment sometimes. They gotta be.
Okay.
And I know the guys mowing it now had to buy equipment, so I think it's a 3-year gig.
Are you doing ditch and lawn care together though?
No.
No, just.
No,
This is
I'm
just-
just using an example.
Just as-
Okay.
yeah. This would just be for the cemeteries and the township hall.
Like I said, gentlemen do it now, had to buy, more equipment. He's always buying equipment.
Yeah,
If you do a 1-year contract, 2 years, 3-year, that's pretty. I think we're good with that.
so we'll publish a notice in Dundee Independent, obviously the website, Facebook, that type of thing.
I'll work on that Wednesday and have that to you so we can post it.
Perfect. And when did we want bids to be in by?
Do 2 months again with that?
By
Yeah,
December?
December, yeah.
Okay. And it's a 3-year, we decided.
Mhm.
Did you motion?
I'll motion it to do lawn care bids and
I will second that. And we'll do a roll call since we're gonna be publishing in the paper. So Supervisor Bogey,
yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel?
Yes.
Trustee Olga?
Yes,
And Trustee Nick?
Yeah,
All right. That's the R&R lawn fall care, fall cleanup estimate and tree and shrub removal, so.
Yeah, so there's 2 estimates. There's trees and shrubs and then a fall cleanup. So the trees and shrub is a trim or remove. It indicates that they will cut and remove trees and shrubs around particular monuments in the following properties: Rice, Azalea, and Spalding. Does not include the lane at Spalding, just a cemetery. Work will be completed over a few months. He was gonna send photos of the areas on the properties that he was bidding on. And that is for a total of 3,800. And then the fall cleanup is mulching of leaves, no removal. This will be considered double cut. We will do the normal cut and cut again to mulch leaves. Prices for 4 to 6 cuts in the next 2 months of October and November. This will be for all 4 township properties. This quote is in addition to current charges. Cleanup includes branches and small limbs on the ground.
I have to say, I don't really want to spend $7,800 doing all that. Basically, the fall cleanup should be included in his contract. It's in his contract, actually, if I remember right.
Well, the contract says minor spring and fall. That's why, yes, spring and fall. That's why I wanted to be very clear in our next
It includes
published
minor
notice.
spring and fall cleanup, which is mowing and trimming, cleanup. Yeah, I can't see us mulching and leave. That's already
Did
included
it-
along one service.
Did we do this last year?
No,
No,
Then why all of a sudden do we have these for this year?
not sure.
I mean, he's got a 3-year contract with us,
Mhm.
and this all of us, our last 2 months,
Mhm.
we're getting
Yeah,
yes. What's your thoughts on it, Joel?
well, I mean, we haven't done it in the last 2 years now, all of a sudden he's gonna hit us with $7,800.
Yeah, I disagree on it too, but gotta bring it to the board. Now, this
I disagree.
$7,800 doesn't include the lawn mowing he's gonna do on top
right.
of this.
That's on top of
That's
it.
another
That's-
2,600 bucks.
Yeah, and that's about $2,600 a month for, so, yeah.
He's gonna mow twice.
I'll use the full cleanup for 10 grand.
I mean, that's all he's doing.
Right, right,
I mean, yeah, let's just say mow the grass. If
Yeah,
the leaves
we'll
are
do
there,
that.
they'll cut them up.
right.
All right.
I would say.
I
Really?
was going to suggest if you would like the cemeteries cleaned up, the sea cadets would be more than happy to come and volunteer their time and clean up all the branches and.
Yeah, I think that would be a great opportunity for,
Which on the subject, yes, and I called the insurance company, as long as you signed a hold harmless, you're good.
Okay.
Cause remember, a bunch of guys wanna come in and clean Spalding's
uh-huh.
lane up, they're gonna do that for nothing. They just have to sign a hold harmless and they're good to go with that.
okay,
So that solves that problem.
That reminds me, I gotta get you that full term.
Yes. And then I also talked to Dave Mullins, he's gonna help us, cause we're working on that culvert for him. He's gonna go down and spread all the dirt that we got, excess dirt down at Rice.
Okay.
Talk to the farmer, he's gonna take it for his fields, that solves that. I'm gonna clean all the brush up and burn it out in the pile. And get that done, so
Okay, sounds great.
that should handle all that.
So I make a motion to deny the 2 estimates for the fall cleanup and the tree and shrub removal.
A second.
Just
Yeah,
before we
didn't
finish
do
this all
last
up,
couple of years, all of a
Yeah.
sudden. it's-
Yeah,
since we're on the cemetery real quick, right? Yeah, since we're in the cemetery real quick, our monument came in today, the historical marker that was supposed to weigh millions of pounds, it weighed nothing, it's on my trailer out here. I will get a hold of Mr. Nolan and, what's her name, Mrs. Sweet, I
Mhm.
was involved in that, I'll
Yeah.
get them, we'll deal with something on that next week, I'm gonna just throw it in my garage.
perfect.
Other than that, all in favor with the motion of the lawn care fall cleanup?
Aye.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Opposed? Okay. Solves that. All right, on to the PA 116 for Kevin Heath.
Yep, so Kevin brought in 2 PA 116 applications. I had Karen look them over. Everything is here and signed and everything looked good. The one piece of property is right on Petersburg. I'm trying to find my house. Hold on.
Did you get Karen on?
Karen's there.
Karen's here.
She's there?
Mhm.
I got a question to ask her.
I'm here, hello.
On this PA 116 that they want to put back in, was it ever on PA 116 or?
That I would not know. We'd have to look at the clerk records to see, because the assessor doesn't keep track of the PA 116s. That's that we'd have to look at the old files in the clerk's department.
Yeah, I thought Kevin, when he dropped these off, he said that they were originally, but then they got out of it and it was missed in their,
Okay.
yeah, so I think originally they were. But the one is right on Cone and Petersburg. The piece right there that has the mounds of dirt that are right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
that piece, and then down from there, by just off the Welch. So in terms of paperwork and everything is here. Karen's looked it over. Everything looks good paperwork wise. So just
Okay.
wanted to bring it here, see what you guys thought, and then go from there.
How many years is the contract? You know, how long is PA 116 contract?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
You know,
Typically, they're 20 years, 30 years, and sometimes 10 years, but it should be written on that contract application.
Yep, it does say so. Both of them are for 10.
10 years.
Okay, there we go.
Thanks, Karen.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
All right, so do we have to do a resolution on that?
No,
For PA 116 or we
no,
just do it
just
straight? 'Cause,
motion.
yeah, okay.
Mhm.
I make a motion to accept farmland preservation PA 116 for Kevin on the Petersburg and Cone Road property.
I'll
Can't do them
second
separately,
that.
right?
Yeah.
What's that, Joe?
You can do one at a time or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second the first one.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed? Gets us P 116. Now on the other one, which is on, what road is this one?
Petersburg.
That's the one that just says Petersburg. and Cone.
Oh, this one's on Cone in Petersburg.
That's what this one was.
There's one on Welch and,
Okay, that's one we gotta do
Petersburg.
now then.
yes,
Okay,
sure.
okay, so I make a motion to do the one on Welch and Petersburg.
I did the parcel numbers. I didn't do the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll second that.
All right.
either way. There
Either
we
way,
go.
we're good.
Goodness
All
gracious.
in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, it's handled. All right,
So the last thing was the November meeting date. So Jenna and I were discussing the potential of not having a November date because we have to be here. So the November meeting date lands the Thursday after Election Day. So we would have to be here all day Saturday, all day Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. But there's too much going on, so I'm just gonna scrap that whole thing. We will meet on the Thursday after the election.
we may have to have it.
We do, we can't not. We can't not. I mean, there's too much that's come up that
Right.
we have to, yeah, so,
I was just giving you the.
I know. So we'll just scratch that completely.
All right. I'm good with that. I understand we do got a lot going on.
Yes, we
It's
do.
just crazy end of the year.
So our November meeting,
It's still on.
It's still on, it's the,
what day
I
did
think
we
it's the
we changed
9th.
that?
8th or 9th.
Yeah, we changed it to the 7th.
Yeah.
It was originally the 14th and we had and then we changed to the
Oh,
7th, so.
Perfect.
Me, Joel, and
Then
Nick won't be here
Yeah.
for the normal one.
Yeah. All right, so number 7, the Welch Road project.
Yep, so I got 2 bids on that one. So let's bring up this. So you guys all budget work to do last time we're at a meeting. Well, anyway, oh, here it is. So, yeah, no, I got that, but I want to bring up, in the budget, I did $347,000, $582 to do the roads. Right now, we're at 239, 288. Welch Road is gonna be their biggest project, but it'll knock out a lot of the road. If we do the whole thing, it's $111,000. If we do part of it, it's $55,000. So
And that's to do what? So,
that's cut all the berms, cut the trees, which they cut the trees back already on, down by Porter.
mhm,
He actually verified that. And restone it, 2-inch lift. So it'll be just like Far Road is, Cooper Road is now, Heiser Road, Petersburg, Sherman, Mead, Crow. So we're knocking the roads out. I mean, every year we're putting some money in roads. Next year we got, probably if we do this one more thing, our road cost is gonna come way down.
it's gonna be maintenance at that point.
Yep, it's gonna be maintenance, and we're still gonna do re-graveling,
Mhm.
but we're gonna pick and choose the roads that need it the most, so,
So then if we only did it from Dennis into county line, it would be 55.5.
right. Or if we do the whole thing, it's 111, and we don't have to do anything with that road, it's done for the next 10, 15 years, hopefully. Technically.
And what do we got in the budget for it left?
I'm at 239,000, so,
I cut it in half, roughly.
well,
No, we,
here, I can tell you what, here, let's do this. I can't add nothing tonight.
Take 111.
because in the
off of
road
that.
fund, we have 55,000.
Yeah, but, you know.
But we budgeted for more than what was gonna be in the road fund. So we'd have to take money out of the
General.
general fund
Yeah.
for it.
I'd be over by $3,000.
Well, we got the money.
Yeah,
We got it.
CDs, we can,
Once I say we burn it, because next year we get our new millages. Well, the approval of renewal of our millages, there you go. It's been a long day, 2 days.
So like, I mean, how many roads you got left to do?
We're gonna have
One
Redmond,
more?
actually, I had a meeting with Monroe County, and I think we're gonna do Redmond, part of Hack, Redmond, what's the other one, Southwick? And then I got, Hack Road, not Hack Road, Half Road.
Half.
That we're gonna spend our free gravel on to do that one, because so far we've done Petersburg Road, it's never had gravel on it, north of Redmond. We had that done last year, free gravel.
yeah.
This year we did Sherman, the dead end part from Platte to the railroad tracks, free gravel. Next year I'd like to do either Petersburg with the free gravel on the other end of the dead end, or do Hack. I'm gonna go see which
Hack or
one's
Hack?
worse. Yeah, one or the other.
oh, okay.
I wanna see which one's worse. Well, springtime comes, let's see which one's.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting the roads knocked out.
So I mean,
so
it sounds like the plan for next year is much less than what we did
It
the
possibly will
last
be,
year and a
yeah.
half.
And then we start doing general maintenance on, which costs half as much. So I'd like to just knock it out, and that way it's done. It's a
Yeah,
big ticket item.
And Welch is a pretty well-traveled road in terms of, there's a lot of people that live on Welch.
There is. It's a cut through. I mean, it happens. So it's up to you
Well,
guys.
it's been nice with you guys, they're cutting the ditches, the
Yeah.
roads are nice,
It's nice to see Monroe County out here all the time,
all the time.
all the time. I mean, I agree with Joel, we have the money, it's,
And that's what it was for.
and that, right, the
Absolutely.
only good thing that we can do for this township in terms of spending money is the roads. I mean, we don't have parks to upkeep, we don't have,
Right.
facilities. Our facilities are the roads, and if we can keep those up, I think that's the best thing we can
And
do.
cutting the trees back is a
Yeah.
big plus too for
And they did like, well, Pat, you know.
They did a
went
hell
down.
of a job down by Dan Heads.
Yeah.
That was getting a little thick down there. I think Hickory we want to maybe touch too. So we got a couple little roads,
Mhm.
not big ones. This is the last long road we got to do.
I mean, I make a motion to accept to do the full thing for 111.
I'll second that.
Do we want to, before we do anything, is this the for sure cost?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, if you read, it can go up 10%, but it shouldn't.
okay. Well, I'm just wondering if we should approve it for 10%.
No, we're doing it for this.
Okay.
Because we don't, they usually come in under. I
Okay.
have not had one come, I'm not even gonna say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
Don't, shush.
Yeah. Okay, so I motion, Joel seconded to approve 111,083.
Roll call.
Roll call. Supervisor Rogie,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
Yes,
and Trustee Nick.
Yes,
All right. Next thing I got is Monroe County Road Commission sign for the no cross traffic that I didn't put on the stop signs. That was on me. Do you want to add for that? So it'd be 4 signs. It says cross traffic doesn't stop,
And where was this going?
Cone and Dennison.
Oh, they're allowing us to do that now?
Yeah, I got a bid.
You followed the steps and we've
No.
exhausted the steps?
Not
So
really,
are you
no.
gonna get yelled at again?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh,
I'm
who gave
done.
you the bid?
Dave Leach,
How much for the signs?
$460
Oh,
for 4
yeah.
of them.
Yeah. For sure.
oh, you gotta put what, cross traffic doesn't stop?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
So it's gonna be on 4 signs facing both ways. So when you come up on Dennison,
Yeah.
it's gonna say
It's on the back of the
yes.
stop
And
sign.
when you come the other way, it's gonna have cross traffic don't stop.
And this is just on Conan Dennison?
Yes,
On north
for
and
right now,
south?
yes.
And it's 460 a sign?
No, 460 for all of it.
Oh, for all of it?
Because the poles are already there. They just gotta bolt the signs on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
No questions?
Are they gonna do the bumps,
No.
roll strips or
Nope.
something?
That's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
Well, here's a problem. It causes noise pollution. So.
But I
sure
I
Cheryl
thought
will
they
hear
said you had to do.
Rub-a-bum-a-bum, rub-a-bum-a-bum. So I want to try this first. I mean, I kind of got yelled at down there twice now for putting this
Yeah,
flashing stop signs up and.
So Joel makes a motion to accept it. I'll second it.
All right. Roll call vote?
Supervisor Brody,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
yes.
and Trustee Nick.
Yes,
Now, on that point, I was coming home the other day on Dennison Road, it was dark. And I'm coming northbound on Dennison Road, coming up to Milwaukee, and I had a truck with a big 30-foot trailer heading west, and he didn't even stop and think about it. At least 50, blew through Milwaukee and Dennison Road. But that's our next one, because
Ray run
these
that.
guys, I've had 2 or 3 accidents just this year. I was there at one of them. And these people just don't stop. Now, you can't make people stop, but
No, we try to.
dang, I mean, this guy, there's no way you
Yeah.
could see, I mean, you could see over the beams a little bit, but it could have been ugly. And this guy didn't even stop. I wanted to chase him down, but it's not my business.
You should have done it.
Mm,
Yeah, it's, so we do a roll call on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Mhm.
Last thing is, a sexton position is gonna open up, because I'm tired, I'm done. I've got a lot of stuff done, me and Amanda both built a lot of stuff to get it all ready. I would like to get someone in here, no cemeteries like the back of their hand would be a lot easier, because I've had to work with our engineer and have him come out and re-GPS our lots, because someone keeps moving the pins around like it's a joke, so I'm a little done with that.
And I will admit that the cemetery is supposed to be the clerk's job, but I just can't take on that job along with everything else. It's,
Right.
So I talked to other townships, they all have sextons they've hired out. They're doing it, so I.
to be able to give it the attention that it deserves.
Yes,
I think we do need somebody separately to handle all of that.
I mean, I'll work with them, it's not a problem.
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, so I'd like to put a job posting out there, probably, for the next 2 months, in the newspaper.
What's the pay for a sexton?
Well, I don't
I
know.
figure we do $20 an hour. That's kind of the going rate. That's what it is in our township, so.
You
I
gotta
mean, I think
look,
that's fair. I think it's fair.
you need to look and make sure that you don't already have a pay assigned to that position.
We've never had a sextant, like, we've never had
Well-
an
There's
hourly,
never been.
no.
Yes and no. The sexton usually is a grave digger. They're all in one unit.
Right,
That's-
but we never paid an hourly wage.
No.
It's always just been
Per
per
job.
job that they got
Right.
paid. We've never had an hourly position.
I don't mean this guy, this person, guy or girl, whoever, they, them. It's not gonna matter how many times they're gonna be, it's not like we're gonna need them all the time. I mean, right now, what do we? 2-3 times a year?
Yeah, it's not often.
Like that, huh? Use my pronouns.
Yep, so, so we're thinking $20 an hour?
I'm thinking yes.
You need to do that within a resolution.
Okay,
Yes.
So, okay, before you do
yeah,
that.
yeah, well, I still have a lot of questions.
Yeah, what's the sexton?
What is their responsibility?
Right, are we gonna
Yeah.
write up a list of?
That's what we need to do.
Yes, I
responsibilities
think,
and-
yeah, I think, first of all, it's,
The
the
bookkeeping,
bookkeeping,
marking. the
somebody
rates.
calls and says, hey, so-and-so passed away, you know, getting all of that squared away. I think we definitely need to probably write a standard operating procedure of kind of
Yep.
what,
We
the
do that next
sexton
week.
is. So
Do what?
We can do that next week.
So before we post for it, should we get all of those duties and responsibilities together?
Mhm.
And then we can approve it through a resolution next time. That way then we have everything, since we've never had it before,
Yeah.
you know, with the other bids and
Right.
publishings we've done,
Yeah, they're gonna
we've already had them, right?
Yeah.
I would hate to put out for a bid and people bid on it and then we say, oh, this is way more responsibility than you were expecting.
Right.
I'd rather have it.
You're not putting it out for bid.
Yeah, we're just putting
It's
out
not,
for
it's not a
application.
bid position, it's a,
Oh, an appointed position?
yeah,
Oh, you didn't tell me that. I thought we were putting it out for bid.
No,
no.
I'm
Oh.
just putting it out for
It's an-
application,
it's an
so people can
employee.
apply.
It would,
Oh,
sexton would
duh,
then
yes.
become an employee.
Yeah, so we put
That's
it out
why
for
it
an open
needs-
position.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're opening it for bids, but not bids. It's an open position.
Job
Yeah.
posting.
It just
Thank you.
sounds
Job
very-
posting.
so
Yes.
sexton's a piece of
I'm
work.
saying $20 an hour, but the problem is, we don't know how many hours. I mean, it could be,
Well, but we also don't know how many hours that the ZBA is gonna be, or, you know, or the, you know what I'm saying? Those all vary. It's,
correct.
they're just gonna have, the person that applies for it is just gonna have to understand that it could be 40 hours in a month, or it could be 5 hours in a month. It depends
Right.
on
Who does?
who dies.
Well, that's just like our sexton over in London Township. We very rarely needed the sexton.
Yeah.
And she's already buried like 18 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So,
and with this person, you know, looking at the responsibilities, there's plenty to do with the cemeteries in terms of just organizing records, right? So at the beginning, they very well could have way more to do
Right.
than they're anticipating. So
Absolutely.
I don't think there's gonna be a lack of hours if somebody is
No.
hurting for.
you can always address that later if you feel
Correct.
that they're racking up too many hours
Yeah.
or maybe they're not putting in enough.
Right.
You can address that later.
Yeah.
So,
So let's do that.
So I make a motion to just get all the duties and responsibilities for a sexton position to be presented at next month's meeting.
Okay.
To look at.
We can do that. I'll
Sound
second
good?
that.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, who seconded that? Okay.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Joel, resolution for,
Yeah, it's that dang streetlights we have. We were a little short on our audit last year by $1,200. So we need to bump that. We can only go 10%, which is $850. So my problem is I just soon, we're supposed to collect enough for it, but not go over, not go under, but you can't do that with electricity because in the last 3 years, it's just gone through the roof. So I'm gonna try to go 10%. And if we get close, we'll be closer. I'm hoping it doesn't go up a tremendous amount next year. But I don't mind it not being, I'd rather be under, because I think, you know, the people that pay for it is good. And then there's also the other residents that actually drive through it. And that way, you know, we could take care of it a little bit, you know.
We're not having as many complaints as we did either, because we got most of the lights fixed, so I think we just got one left that's a straggler.
And it's nice to have a light here and there, you know.
No, middle of no man's land.
But yeah,
Yeah, because the bills have been around like $850 to $880, and this past month was $1,000, like $1,100.
Right.
So I don't know, but it's getting darker at night, you know, earlier.
sure.
So
Comes on earlier, especially in the middle of winter, you know, it's 5
So,
o'clock.
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So look for need to make a resolution to bump the electric, street light up 10%.
Okay.
Am I saying that right?
So you're making a motion, make a
Make a motion.
resolution.
Making a resolution, yeah.
No, if it's a resolution, then it needs to be written up. A motion is,
Is approving something.
To write a resolution?
yeah, maybe you should make a motion to get a resolution drafted to.
No, we can do
There we go, and then I'll bring that
increase the
resolution in
10%.
All right.
November and we can approve
Beautiful.
that.
There you
That's fine.
There we go. Resolution.
So you make a,
So Joel, you're making that motion?
I'm making a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
We'll get these resolutions down one.
Aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
resolution.
Okay.
Just need a little more for the electricity.
All right, now to board comments. The only thing I really got is, I've been working with the county. They've actually trying to work on Milwaukee Road. We got a pothole out there they can't seem to fill. I don't know why. We've got a resident who decides this turnaround is a place to split, cut and split wood, so the county addressed that today and they're gonna send him a letter. Because semis can't do a turnaround with a grain in it. They can't make the corner. Like I said, he was out today on that. The sign showed up for a cemetery, you know, it was supposed to be, you know, really heavy, it's not. I'll get a hold of Andrew Nolan and what was her name?
Answer.
Handwrites.
Oh.
Yes,
And-
Sweet.
Sweet.
Sweet and Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll get a hold of her and let her know that it came in and we'll deal with that sometime next week. And that's really, I think, all I got. There will be no supervisor report this month because I was too busy to write one. I don't need any more to do. It's been a little crazy, I don't know why. That's all I got. Clerk.
Election is coming up. I think it's 25 days, 24 days, something. We're counting down. Early voting starts the 26th at Raisinville Township until the 3rd, 8 to 4. Absentee ballots have been going out. If you have not received it, please let Jenna or I know. Also, there has been an increase of text messages, emails, phone calls to people saying you're not registered to vote. Here's an absentee ballot, fill it out, do whatever. Please make sure that you call us to verify that you're registered, because I've gotten these text messages and I'm registered to vote. And all absentee ballots would come from us. They, you know, the state will send stuff out saying you can apply for an absentee ballot, but just know that that's not the actual ballot. There's a lot of scams going on. This is a huge election, so just be vigilant with all of that. Drop box is open 24/7 in the vestibule for absentee ballots. I think that is it. Our public accuracy test is next Wednesday at 2 p.m. if anybody wants to come see how the tabulator works, but other than that.
Boring, to let you know.
Yeah.
We just had our preliminary today.
Yeah.
So,
Boring.
other than that, that's it.
That's it. Mr. Treasurer.
I already touched on Dennis and the Milwaukee Road. I just wished everybody would stop at the stop signs. Save us all a lot of trouble.
Now, that wouldn't be a bad place to put rumble strips. maybe.
Yeah,
There's
because
no
there's no
houses
houses
there.
right there.
It wouldn't give a noise issue to everybody in the neighborhood.
Might wake them up a little bit. I don't know. You can't make people stop. Other than that, I just wanna thank you guys for doing a great job, you know, you guys are.
Couldn't do it without you, Joel.
doing- Well, you probably could,
Probably not.
yeah.
Not without your humor anyway.
And that's it, we're right in between tax seasons, so.
Trustee Straub.
Well, we had our public hearing last night for Corrigan for the rezoning to industrial over here. And it got tabled because they changed stuff at the last minute and jammed it in. So it got tabled, so that'll be next.
That's a big unit. Where was that? Big tow truck?
No, it's
Right.
right.
Is it?
Right there.
Well, test driving.
Just turned off the lights.
Is that the one with cracked frame?
Could be.
Cause they take the engine on every fire call.
Yes.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
Yeah, we should go up and down the road.
Said maybe medical for medical.
Don't
They
make,
take it.
Sorry.
don't,
Bring it up
don't
a
make
pump.
logical sense, Warren.
Go ahead, next, sorry.
Okay, so, that's it there. And the only other thing is, Tigers were up 3-2, and they just went down 4-3.
Oh.
Top of the seventh.
A lot of time left, a lot of time.
Start with the important stuff.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
Anything else, boss?
That is it.
All right. Trustee Olga, you must have a lot to say.
No, I don't, but, on trash day, we had a total of 58 loads,
Oh, that's right.
which was good. They keep coming down, so I guess we're cleaning up.
Well, the fall one's usually always kind of
Yes.
lackadaisy
yeah.
anyway.
I will say, I don't think we advertised it or scheduled it early enough, like figured out the day to get the day out there. So for next year, when we schedule spring, I would like to schedule fall as well. That way we can get on the taxes. Because I think that's what helps spring so much is because we get it on the taxes.
Could be. Because
We
fall's
will
always
have to
been
do that at the
whack.
next meeting then,
Okay, so I'll put that on the agenda,
Okay.
is just get
and then we
the
can put
fall
them both
and.
right on there.
Perfect.
And be done with it.
And we gotta add,
That's
Remember how much
we
we
gotta
brought?
add tires.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to do tires.
I don't either.
I have
Just
it at
because-
home. I forgot
okay.
to
I
bring
pick
it.
them up out of the ditch
Because I
on
gave,
Bulk Road, and then I go get rid of them.
I
I
know.
thought it was like $200-300.
I'll have to talk to
Yes,
Penny.
yeah.
I was
Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
209 is,
Cause she
but
got
I think
a
we took
a
the money
tire
out
grant
for
from
pizza.
for London
Yes,
to
yes, we
do
did.
up
No,
there.
I'm
Might wanna
sorry.
bring it.
I'll bring it next
Yeah,
year.
so we gotta keep a record of that, because I gave it to these two,
What? I'm sorry, I missed it.
cash,
Oh, yeah.
from that, because I had it in a safety box with a tag around it. We only used two dumps, two big, what do you call them, rollbacks, which we didn't need. We could have done one, but two garbage trucks were full to the brim. One guy said it's chock full.
So
So,
roll off. container.
yeah, the roll offs, we
And the
we
open
technically
tops.
needed
You
one,
can
but
roll them back if you want, but it's a roll off.
Yeah.
Just gives them an extra $500 in their pocket.
yeah, so that we might have to be a little more conscious of. They did bury their truck on the parking lot, which is really awesome to watch. And
Well,
then-
that stone is, that's terrible stuff.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
my
give
God.
them that.
Did you stay till he got out?
No, he kind of, I was trying to help him and he got a little snooty, so I said, you're on your own, buddy. He's trying to look for the switch to lock in the lockers. I'm like, it's by your left knee. You can't miss it. It's a switch. He's out there burning rubber and everything. It was awesome to watch. First day on the job. So anyway, I gave the money to these two. They took the cash box and put it all in our, so we don't have a cash box that big anymore. That was a good idea.
Mhm.
What else you got, Olga?
That's all.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you at the next meeting, right?
Okay.
All right. Staff.
What? Nothing to say?
Wow, let's hurry up and get past that one.
Jeez.
Jenna wasn't feeling well, so that's why she's not here, but she has been working her tail off, getting these absentee ballots out. So she is our election guru.
She helps out a lot. Thank you,
Yeah,
Amanda.
sorry for the delay today.
No, that's all right.
That was like kind of thrown at me. I wasn't
But I'll get with you Wednesday, make a day, we got a lot to write up and do, and I wanna get stuff done, so, okay. Public comment for 5 minutes.
Hi.
State your name.
My name is Cassie Pryor. I'm here for 2 reasons. One, I am running for election to retain my appointed seat on the Milan School Board. To find out more information about me, you can visit my website, which is Cassie Pryor for milanschoolboard.us. It has all the places that I've published articles that the businesses and companies and persons in town that have endorsed me, my priorities and where to find me. So all the information is listed on there, and I do have a Facebook page which you could access as well. But if anybody has any questions from the Milan School District, I encourage anybody to reach out and talk to me. So
How do you spell Prior?
Prior.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I got it, right.
Yeah,
I see your name uptown, so.
it's like prior to.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you live at?
I live in York Township,
Okay.
actually. Yep, I've been making my rounds to the different townships. But I'm also here as a representative of the school to discuss the sinking fund that is on the ballot for the Milan School District voters. Mr. Gearbaugh has given 3 community forums with information. They are recorded and available on the Milan Schools website. When you go to milanareaschools.org, the first thing that pops up is a notification about the sinking fund. There has been misinformation regarding what the sinking fund is intended to do for our school district. We are a school district that does not have it compared to several other ones around us. A lot of other school districts can pay their teachers more, have other things that they can do because they have a sinking fund that allows them to not use general fund monies for repairs of roofs, gym floors, driveways, sidewalks, heating and cooling, water mains. We just had a major water main break underneath the parking lot of the middle school. If the city wouldn't have given us the deal, it would have been about $100,000. The whole thing needs to be tore up. We are going to have to do it. It's only a matter of time. We're on borrowed time with that right now. Our chillers on our high schools and middle schools have broken, and our heater just broke in our in our middle school. So our buildings are aging. Routine maintenance you have to do. If we have the sinking fund passed, we can do those things, but on top of that, the biggest thing that we're looking to do is some safety improvements. Securing our vestibules for the high school, middle school, so people cannot walk into the school system piggybacking off someone else. They have a harder time getting in. They must be directed to the office who can then can then say, okay, yes, you can enter the school. They would be able to let everybody. The elementaries are much easier to transform based upon how they're set up, so it wouldn't be as big of a purchase. Those are something we can do regardless, and we are moving that way. And another thing that we would really like to do is buses on our cameras. Living on Stony Creek, it was always a large issue with my kids when they were in school. They had to change the busing routes. My children did not have to cross the road because people flew by that bus all the time. These camera systems would activate when the bus sign went out. The state police has a trusting relationship, they call it, with school bus drivers and the school systems. If a bus driver reports this person passed my bus, or you can turn it in, they will cite that person for doing it. So it is, I would really like to see people get fined and held accountable for putting our children at risk for zooming by a bus. Wait 5 minutes, don't kill one of our kids. So that's 2 of the major things we'd like to do, but anybody would like more information, it's based on taxable value of your home. So if you owned a $300,000 home, your taxable value would be $150,000. You're looking at an annual cost of $225,000. We're asking for for this to go for 10 years. And I did bring some flyers for anybody that would be interested, but thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Ask you a question.
Yes.
Do they have a wish list? Do they have a list set up that what has to be fixed and prioritized?
The thing that we do need to fix is the roof on the middle school. That is the biggest issue. We didn't fix it 10 years ago when we had the upgrades to the school because it didn't need to be done yet. But we have been maintaining and doing very good maintenance at all of our facilities, but that has come to a point where it's gonna start leaking soon. They're patching stuff, so that is the biggest one. The other things are our sidewalks are starting to buckle. May not seem like a big deal, but we don't want anybody to get hurt when they're walking their kiddos up to school, or people are just walking in general. That is our responsibility in the town. The pavements, we've just resurfaced over and over and over again. They're looking really bad. If you go up to the high school for a football game, take a good look at the parking lots. They're starting to dip and dent and crack really bad, so we've just been able to like resurface them, like you would your driveway, they need to be replaced. Those are the 3 big wish lists, and then the 2 safety with the vestibules, that'd be about $50,000 per school. So we would be able to do that right away, so the roof and the vestibules would be able to do right away when we first got our first taxes in, and that would be in 2025, the end of, approximately levied 1.1 mil we would receive if it passes. We'd be able to start those right away.
On the website that you had indicated, does it show where the tax money currently goes in terms of school? So like, I know we send taxes from like the pipeline that we have running through here. A lot of money goes, we cut a check each year. Is there anywhere that we can see where all that money is getting spent?
So up in the upper right-hand corner, there is a square that does get bigger and expands as like hands holding. It's the required reporting that the state has to put on the website to make available. If you click on that box, most people don't think it's a click, but all school systems are required to have it. It opens it up and it tells you exactly where it goes. As far as that pipeline check, we do get it, but the state reduces the cost per pupil. Every dollar you send us for that pipeline, we must send back. So we don't actually benefit from it like people think that we do. It's a big, big thing. People think we benefit from that pipeline, but they reduce our cost. So they may give us the money for the per pupil allowance, but then they just take it right back because we're getting funds from the pipeline. And we just found out that we will be losing additional funds from the solar installations that are going in because of the tax exemption. So the schools are going to start suffering even more as the solar installations occur in York, in Milan Township, and other ones. It is
interesting.
It has become, you can ask for the exemption. You can actually get on the state of Michigan's legislative website and read the article that has it buried down on the bottom saying if they ask for the exemption, the state does grant it. So, and they acknowledge that it will cause governmental issues for governmental communities. The schools are going to be very largely affected by larger solar installations. So it's a lot to think about. I know there's a lot of things going on with that, but we're looking at some suffering occurring in Milan, so that's even why we want to do this even more. And our teachers, we really would like to give them more. Anybody who works on a budget, who negotiates a contract, there's only so much to give, and we gave them every dime that we could. And our over balance for this past year, our audit was just published official last night. We came out good, $33,000. So we gave away every single dollar we could to our teachers and our administrative assistants. For the last couple of years, we've had a positive about 50,000, 33,000 of our intention to make sure that we're providing as much as we can to the people who work for us.
Wow. Thank you for all that information.
And that's all published on the website. It is all there. And Mr. Gearba or the board members do not mind clearing up any misinformation that is being spread on social media. I implore you, please do not listen to things that are on True Friends of Milan. It is wrong. It is all lies. Talk to me. I'll share it with you. I'll print the stuff out. I'll bring it to you. It's not true.
How long have you been on the board?
I've only been on the board a year. I am an appointed person because I took a seat, somebody resigned, and then you have to go through an interview process. I tried a couple of times. It was very nerve-wracking to get up and interview in front of everybody, like it would be for you guys, to stand in front and ask you to hire me. So I did that, and now I'm running to retain my seat. So if anybody has any more questions, we do have it. For me, I have a candidate session set up on Saturday at the Owl for people to come talk to me and find out more information about me.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. My appointment was way easy. I was at deer camp, remember?
Yeah, you were just on the phone.
Your camp's fun, though.
Yeah.
Anybody else, public comment?
I actually do have.
We passed.
Hey, you
So,
passed. We passed.
sorry. I just want to let all the planning commissioners know that their zoning ordinances will be ready for them tomorrow morning. I have everything tonight, I just got to put them together.
Awesome, thank you.
That it? Awesome.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Speaking of the stop sign on Dennison and Cone, what is the deal with the one on Ann Arbor and Cone?
I just got a bid back on it. It's about $6,800, so
That's for the blinking?
Lincoln one.
Is it gonna have the cross traffic doesn't stop?
I haven't got that far with, I just got a bid out just for that to see how much it was gonna cost.
Okay.
So we really only got, what, 3 bad intersections basically around here, except they seem to be making more. Ann Arbor Road and Cone Road's bad, Cone Road and Dennison, and then Dennison, Milwaukee are the probably worst intersections. Everything else is pretty much not too bad. Cause then me and Pat drove through there, what, Tuesday? I'm on his vehicle, I'm stepping on the brakes on my side, cause this guy pulled right out in the intersection, I thought we were gonna get creamed.
I think Farm Cooper gets pretty bad.
Farr and Cooper.
Oh, yeah. Mass over there.
Oh my God, anyway, anything else from everybody?
And then, although you guys don't have anything to do with Corrigan yet, I would like you to go down to the trailer place down on Ann Arbor Road. So you can see the bugs, the smell, while it's still warm enough. So that way, if something comes up with Corrigan, it'll be something that you will have some knowledge of. And I do not believe there is any ordinances on the smell or bugs, but it seemed like you guys did actually have trouble with the other place.
I've only had one complaint on there, that's it.
Smell from what place?
From the trailer place down on Ann Arbor Road,
Oh,
which is gonna be, what's
Right.
gonna be down in Corrigan.
Do we know for sure that that's what's going in Corrigan?
I haven't got anything back yet,
No,
not
we
yet.
don't know for sure.
know for sure.
Okay.
But if it comes up this winter, you go down there, it ain't gonna smell as much, and there ain't gonna obviously be the bugs.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I know that somebody had had a complaint one time last summer, I think, or earlier this summer.
Yeah, he
And
said
you
it
guys
was,
had went down there and
we didn't
it
say
was
anything.
unfounded at that point, so.
He said the gnats were the worst on the planet and they can't get rid of them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, last year was a bad gnat year anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Our house was full of them.
Ours too.
It was just a bad, it didn't matter. So I went down and we couldn't find anything wrong with it down there at that time, but we only had one complaint. So
Well, I spoke to a young man that lives in the yellow house,
that would be him.
and he said that there are gnats in his house.
Yeah, there are ours too. It was just a
And
bad
then
gnat year.
that small ranch just south of it, he's the one that came to a meeting
Yes.
and talked about child wouldn't even eat because of the gnats on the food.
But I also told him last year too was a bad gnat year for some reason.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Our house
I had
was
it in
full of them and we live 4 miles that way. So, no, we'll look into it. I mean, I'm waiting for something to get done before I can do anything. I'm kind of stuck. So, yes,
He had brought some things to the planning commission meeting last night. I'll scan them and send them to you. There were pictures and stuff. You received them there.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that way the board can kind of stay up on it too and not be surprised with anything.
that it?
Yeah.
Anybody else? You were toast, man. All right, I want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:39 PM.
Second that.
All in favor?
I.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Kids were doing good on having short meetings until tonight.
That wasn't bad,
Yeah,
guys.
that was a little while.
stuff.